Okay, real talk. In every English email I write, I use and but. That's it. And but. Like a very limited grammar robot.
And then your emails sound a little elementary.
They do, and the worst part, I know they are better words. I just freeze and reach for but every time.
Right, and here's the thing. 5 linking words is all you need to instantly level up your work English. However, therefore, although, in addition, as a result. Today, we walk through what each one really does and exactly when to use it.
Welcome back to Say It in English, everyone. I'm Tom.
And I'm Lexi, and Tom, I feel very called out by that intro.
Good, you should be. I counted your last email 4 buts. 4.
That was a personal email. It does not count.
It absolutely counts. Okay, word number 1. However.
Let's go.
Okay, so however, my guess, it just means but, right? That's it. It's a fancier but. That's all it does.
You're actually not wrong. However, does show contrast. Same as but. You're placing 2 ideas against each other. But, and this is the whole point, the register is completely different.
Right, the register, the level of formality.
Exactly. But is totally fine in a Slack message or a casual conversation. However, feels measured. It tells the reader, I considered both sides. I thought about this before writing it.
Wait, hold on. What's the actual difference between however and but? Like functionally, because they honestly feel the same to me.
Okay, so the real answer, however, is the professional version. Same meaning, more polish. That's genuinely all it is. But there is one practical difference worth knowing. But sits in the middle of a sentence. However, can start a brand new sentence, so you have more flexibility with it.
Oh, that's actually a useful difference. I didn't know that.
Right? So let's hear it in context. Before version. 2 sentences, simple, nothing wrong with them. The project took longer than expected, but we delivered on time.
Fine. Gets the job done.
Now, upgraded. The project took longer than expected. However, we delivered on time. Hear how that lands differently?
Yeah, that second one sounds like something a senior manager would write in an update email.
And that is exactly the point. However is your go-to for emails, reports, status updates, anywhere you want to sound measured and credible. It's one of those upgrades that's almost invisible, but people feel it. The tone shifts immediately. And here's something worth noting. Even native speakers choose however deliberately. It's not just vocabulary, it's a signal. When your manager reads it, they register, even subconsciously, that you weighed both sides before writing. That's the kind of writing that gets you noticed, that gets you taken seriously.
Okay, I already want to go back and rewrite some emails. All right, word 2, therefore.
Therefore, one of my favorites.
Okay, therefore. I use this one sometimes, but I think I use it wrong. My instinct is it means because or as a result.
It's close to as a result, we'll get to that one later, but therefore has a very specific feeling. It's about logical conclusion. You've laid out the facts, you've built the case, and now therefore says, this is where the evidence leads.
So it's deductive. X is true, therefore Y must follow.
Exactly. And here's the trick. Therefore is the word that makes a recommendation sound earned. We saw X, therefore we recommend Y. It's the bridge between data and decision. It tells the reader this conclusion didn't come from nowhere. We got here logically. And that logic matters more than people realize. In workplaces where decisions go through a chain of managers, your writing has to carry the argument on its own. Therefore does that. It connects your evidence to your conclusions so clearly that someone can follow your thinking without you being in the room to explain it.
The bridge between data and decision. That's a really good way to put it. So this lives in presentations, strategy documents, recommendations?
Exactly those places. Okay, before version, Sales dropped by 15% last quarter, so we should cut the advertising budget.
Yeah, that sounds a bit hasty, like someone jumped to a conclusion.
Right. Now upgraded. Sales dropped by 15% last quarter. Therefore, we recommend a full review of the advertising strategy. Hear the difference?
That second one sounds like a consultant wrote it. In a good way.
In a very good way, therefore slows the logic down. It says, we arrived here deliberately. You're not guessing, you're concluding.
Deliberately, not accidentally stumbling into a recommendation.
Exactly. Okay, word 3, although.
Although, okay, I think I use this one, but I also mix it up with however, and I can never figure out which one to pick.
That's such a common confusion. So here's how to separate them. Although goes at the start, it sets up an acknowledgement. You're naming something, a difficulty, an objection, a limitation, and then making your main point anyway.
So it's like, I see the problem and here's my point, regardless.
Perfectly put. Although is almost diplomatic. You're not pretending the difficult thing doesn't exist. You're acknowledging it up front and then pivoting. That's what makes it so powerful in workplace writing, especially when you're making a request or pushing back on something. Imagine asking your manager for a deadline extension. Without although, you might write, I need more time. Direct, but it sounds like you're just asking for a favor. With although, you write, although I've made strong progress, a few unexpected issues have come up. Suddenly, you're showing awareness. Your manager feels that you've thought it through before you've even made the ask. The budget is tight. We still need to hire someone. Clear enough, but it feels a little blunt, like you're ignoring the budget issue.
Yeah, it does feel like you're just bulldozing past it.
Although the budget is tight, we still need to move forward with the hire. That version shows awareness. You're not ignoring the constraint, you've named it, and then you made your case anyway.
That does sound more mature, like a person who has thought about the objection before raising their hand.
Yes, and that's the signal although sends, I've done the thinking. This isn't a reactive request, it's a considered one. It's incredibly useful when you're writing upward, to a manager, a client, someone with authority.
Writing upward. I like that phrase. So, although also goes before the difficult part. You lead with the acknowledgement, not the ask.
Exactly. Lead with the context, land with the point. That's the although structure.
Okay, word 4. In addition. I feel confident here. It means also. That's it, right?
It does mean also, but here's the thing. Also and in addition are not the same in professional writing.
Really? They feel completely interchangeable to me.
In casual conversation, sure, but in a formal document, also can feel throwaway, like an afterthought you tacked on. In addition, signals something different. It says, I have another point, and it is equally important. It makes your writing feel structured and intentional.
So you're not just listing, you're layering arguments.
Exactly. And once you start hearing it, you notice that managers' emails are full of these words. In addition, furthermore, moreover, because they make writing sound thoughtful, not casual. It's not an accident. It's a skill they've built. And the great news is, it's completely learnable. You don't have to wait until you're a manager to write like one. Start using these words now, in your work emails, your status updates, your proposals. People will notice the shift, not because you're using fancy vocabulary, but because your ideas will sound more structured, more deliberate, and far more credible.
Right, and we're literally teaching ourselves that skill right now. Okay, before version.
The new software will save us time. Also, it's cheaper than what we use now. Perfectly fine, but it reads like a list, not an argument.
Yeah, feels like a Slack message.
Now upgraded, the new software will save us time. In addition, it offers a significant cost reduction compared to our current system.
Okay, I would put that exact sentence in a proposal document without changing a word.
That's the goal. In addition works in emails, proposals, update reports, anywhere you're building a case with more than one point. And the beautiful thing is, it's just two words that completely change how your writing lands.
That's kind of the theme of this whole episode, honestly.
Small words, big impact.
All right, last one. Word 5. As a result. Okay, I think I understand this one instinctively. Something happened and this is the outcome?
That's exactly it. As a result is about consequence, cause and effect made explicit. You've already told us what happened. Now you're telling us what it cost.
So it always comes after the cause. You set up the situation first and then, as a result, connects it to the outcome.
Exactly. And the key function here is visibility. It makes the chain of events visible to the reader. You're not leaving them to connect the dots themselves. You're drawing the line for them. That's really important in reports, and especially in postmortems. In incident reports, risk assessments, client communications, anywhere there's accountability, as a result is your best friend. It shows that you understand cause and effect. And in a professional environment, understanding why something happened is the first step to making sure it doesn't happen again. That's the kind of analysis that people respect and remember.
Postmortem. That word still makes me nervous every single time.
It is a very dramatic name for what is essentially a team meeting where you talk about what went wrong.
Let us gather and speak of what died.
The server went down on Friday. We lost 3 hours of productivity.
Very relatable sentence. I have lived that sentence.
We all have. Now upgraded. The server went down on Friday. As a result, the team lost 3 hours of productivity, and the client deadline had to be extended.
That second version is what goes in an incident report or in an explanation to a client. It connects the dots. It says, this wasn't random. There was a chain of events.
Right, and in a workplace, that chain matters. People need to understand causality to solve problems. As a result doesn't just describe what happened, it explains why it matters. It gives the situation context and weight.
Yeah, it's like you're building the story of what happened, not just listing facts.
And stories are how we understand things, even at work, especially at work.
Okay. I feel like I genuinely have 5 new words I am going to start using, like this week.
That is literally the goal. All right, let's do a quick recap. Which word, which situation? We go fast.
Revy.
However,
You're acknowledging a difficulty before making your main point.
although,
You're drawing a logical conclusion from the evidence.
Therefore,
This is what happened.
as a result,
And you're adding a second strong point to build your case.
in addition.
So to wrap it up simply, contrast, however, or although, cause and effect, therefore, or as a result, adding, in addition.
5 words. That's all it takes to sound noticeably more professional in writing. Now, here's our question for you. Which of these 5 linking words are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
And if you're enjoying Say It in English, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. It really does help more learners find the show, and we appreciate every single one of you.
your English is growing every time you show up and listen. 1 word, 1 episode, 1 email at a time. It adds up. Keep going.
Thanks so much for listening today. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everyone. Bye.